What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So it was about a week and a half ago when the news hit the wire that the Lakers had acquired Isaiah Thomas for a 10-day contract. It was the first time in quite some time that Isaiah Thomas had played in the NBA. Well, they announced recently that they were not going to re-sign Isaiah Thomas to a second 10-day contract. But his play as a Laker, averaging about 9 points a game, was good enough to uh, evoke the interest of other teams as this outbreak continues throughout the NBA. I thought at the time that some of the top teams would be the Bulls, uh, maybe the Heat, and maybe Atlanta and Dallas. And ultimately, it was that last team that I named, Dallas, that extended a hardship 10-day contract to Isaiah Thomas, which he accepted. He is expected to join the Dallas Mavericks tonight in their game. I think it's against the Sacramento Kings. Isaiah Thomas has had a rough go of it, and that's just to say the least. I mean, he's for the most part in his career was a fringe all-star level player, averaging between 16 to 18 points a game in his stints with the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns. But when he went to Boston, he became another level player. His first year in Boston, he was an all star, averaging about 22 points a game. But it was the next season, the 2016-17 season, when Isaiah Thomas went to another level, averaging almost 29 points a game. If I recall correctly, I believe he was the January 2017 Player of the Month, averaging 33 points per game that month. He led the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. As a matter of fact, he had the second most fourth quarter scoring of any NBA player in the last 25 years, second only to Kobe Bryant back in 2005, 2006. And when you consider that Kobe averaged 35.4 points per game that year to Isaiah's 28.9, that shows you the impact his scoring was having for the Boston Celtics that particular season. But then came the downfall. Then came the downfall after a successful campaign where he played as exemplary as a professional is expected. Then came the hip injury. Then came the betrayal by the Boston Celtics organization, traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, struggled to regain his form as he dealt with the hip injury. Didn't look like himself. Bounced around from team to team for a while. Maybe I think he played a little bit with the. I think he played with the Wizards for a while. I think he played with the Nuggets. Might play with another team, but then he was done. He was gone. He was forgotten about. Then we remember. I think it was earlier this year when he scored 81 points in that Pro Am League game. Uh, you know, many people thought that would open up avenues. He was almost signed this year by LA before the season started, but ultimately they decided to go elsewhere. Then he was given a big break. He was given a huge break. He was signed to the Denver Nuggets G League team. He was going to be featured in their showcase tournament, but he got called up and signed by the Lakers. And now he's back in the NBA. I just wish it was on a more permanent basis. I understand that he's not going to be the same guy that he was before, but it's good to see him get an opportunity, and hopefully with Dallas, he can perform at such a level that he can get a regular NBA contract. Excuse me. So I'm hoping the best for him. How much you guys think?